We are from Bane Kebang, the Apex. I am Vijay Taram, the Secretary Publicity and Public Relations. He is Mr. Okidai, the President Bane Kebang Youth Wing.
तो सर किस मुद्दे को लेके आप लोग यहाँ पे प्रेस ब्रीफिंग देने आए हैं?
We had come to place the views of ABK in the recent APPSC AE exam paper leak case, as well as we had lost one of our officers from our community, late Tamik Taki, who was found murdered in Tuting. So in both the issues for placing our views, we had come to give this press conference.
So sir, what sort of discussion you made on APCS issue?
No, the stand of ABK is we strongly condemn any sort of corruption in any form. And especially in the recent AE exam paper leak case, ABK strongly condemns this criminal act by few people, those who have done this act for their own personal benefits, for their own greed. And we also welcome the decision of the government of Arunachal Pradesh to hand over this case to CBI for a proper investigation and finding out the full facts and truths about this case. And ABK wants to place it on in the public domain that we strongly condemn the act of some of the officers inside APCS in this recent scam, which has killed the future of many poor students. Those poor students, those who might have been successful, were sidelined by the help of few officers for money. So, but we have to remember that corruption as such is an act done by an individual for his own personal interest and benefit. So we shouldn't malign or defame the whole community, that community to which that very person belongs. Any criminal offense is always done by an individual, so we cannot blame or defame an entire community for the act of just a few people of that very community. That is one of the messages that ABK wants to give to the public. And we also demand, while welcoming the decision of the state government to hand over this case to the CBI, we also place our demand to the government that previous such cases of the APCS exams should also be investigated very thoroughly. Especially we are getting to see and hear that so many kids and kins of the officers and officers of APCS have been selected in so many categories of the government job. All those earlier cases also should be investigated properly. Very possible, those cases also should be given to the CBI.
Sir, apart from outcry of public in social media, that the Adi community is being maligned. The names of Adi community is being maligned. So, is as a representative of Adi community, Bane Kebang, are they taking any steps to in future that such corruption practices will be minimized within Adi community?
Yeah, we as a community, everyone knows that Adi as a community, we come from, we have a very famous system called Kebang, so which indicates that we have always been believing in justice delivery, social justice delivery system. And while coming from that very community, we will always denounce any kind of corruption, any kind of criminal acts done by an individual or a party. But ABK as such cannot give any warranty or guarantee for the acts of just few people who would always be there to do certain evil or criminal or very greedy acts in their own capacities. But ABK cannot take the responsibility of carving out such evil practices, corrupt practices from the society. It is the government. It is the government who, by setting very exemplary punishment, can deter other officials from falling down to such inhuman levels of corruption. So to say it is totally on the government to see that such types of acts or steps that would kill the future generations of our state, that would deteriorate the human resource development of the state to a very low level. So it's the state government who is empowered, and the agencies of the state governments. They should see to it that they should really secure to the boys, to the next generation, that such kind of illegal acts that would kill the whole entire generation should be abolished or put to a break for once and for all.
Sir, as per my knowledge, Adi Bane Kebang have their own court and have their own laws. Is there any law to punish those culprits involved in APPSC?
It's a very new concept. The corruption is a very new concept, especially in our society. While our forefathers, they started this Kebang system, I believe there weren't any kind of corruption in the society. So the space for giving any punishment or giving any proclamations or anything against corruption maybe not in the ambit or not within the purview of the Kebang system. So it is totally a criminal act. So as such, Kebang is not under right to give any decisions or judge any criminal offences actually. We are into just small criminal small crimes and civil disputes only. So corruption is a very new thing to the society, to Arunachal Pradesh. So while the Kebang system was promulgated or maybe founded, that time there was nothing called corruption. So ABK doesn't, or the Adi Kebang doesn't have any say on this.
So apart from press briefing, is there any step that ABK is taking to ensure that the culprits will be punished and there will be no any malpractices within the investigations and all?
No, that's what we have praised. That's what we have requested the government of Arunachal Pradesh to go for a very thorough probe, a very honest and very sincere investigation into the matter and punish all the officials or all the people involved and give such exemplary punishments. Like if anyone from outside is involved in this very case, they should not be given permission to enter into the state anymore. And all the officials, those involved, should be immediately terminated following the due procedures of law. And all the aspirant candidates or students, those who are found to be involved in this act, should be barred from further or future examinations conducted by the government of Arunachal Pradesh. And that's for that only we had come, and for that only we have pressed the government.